Hello, to watch this video about uh, miracles Jesus performed. Uh, and in this special one, this special miracle Jesus performed, uh, it's about spit. We never heard of any great prophets like Isaiah, Jeremiah, or others who performed miracles like this. Never, ever. We read in Mark chapter 7, verse 32 and 33, "And they bring unto him one that was deaf and had an impediment in his speech. And they beseech him to put his hand upon him. And he took him aside from the multitude, and put his fingers into his ears, and he spit, and touched his tongue. And looking up to heaven, he sighed, and saith unto him, Ephphatha, that is, be opened. And straightway his ears were opened, and the string of his tongue was loosed, and he spake plain." And we read also in Mark chapter 8, verse 23. "And he took the blind man by the hand, and led him out of the town. And when he had spit on his eyes, and put his hands upon him, he asked him if he saw aught. And he looked up and said, I see men as trees walking. After that he put his hands again upon his eyes, and made him look up, and he was restored, and saw every man clearly." And in John chapter 9, verse 6, John 9, verse 6, we read, John 9, verse 6, we read the following. Verse 6. "When he had thus spoken, because he said in verse 5, and as long as I am in the world, I am the light of the world. When he had thus spoken, he spat on the ground, and made a clay of the spittle, and he anointed the eyes of the blind man with the clay, and said unto him, Go wash in the pool of Siloam, which is by interpretation sent. He went his way, therefore, and washed, and came seeing." The neighbors therefore, and they which before had seen him, that he was blind, said, Is not this he that sat baked? Some said, This is he. Others said, He is like him. But he said, I am he. But the very unfortunate thing of the people then is what we read in Mark again, chapter 10. We read in Mark chapter 10 and verse 34. 10 verse 34. We read in chapter 10 verse 34. Of course, Jesus knew what will happen to him, so he was telling his apostles, "And they shall mock him, and shall scourge him, and shall spit upon him, and shall kill him, and the third day he shall rise again. Spit upon him. And in Luke chapter 18, verse 32, Luke chapter 18, verse 32, we read, For he shall be delivered unto the Gentiles, and shall be mocked and spitefully entreated, and spitted on, and they shall scourge him, and put him to death, and the third day he shall rise again. What a evil people. God came from heaven in sinless flesh, not like us, we're all sinners, to handle all our sins and become a curse on the cross for us. His judgment is coming soon.